The Mayo Derby at under-18 level, your second game in the league, came away with a 3-1 win. You chipped in with a penalty to put Westport 1 up. Tough game, but came through at the end. So how do you sum up that match?
We started off well, and then the first half we got a bit sluggish in the middle of it, but then we found our feet again. We just dropped off for a few minutes. Then we won the penalty. Jack got on for a while, he dribbled past the keeper and the keeper took him down. And then we went 1-0, and then in the second half we were awful, but we kept catching them out. But Evan done awful well, exploited their 6 and their 7.
Celtic's Joe Forey was influential in the mill. A couple of times in the first half he made some runs to the mill and got some couple of shots off, which was a warning sign really, and eventually that sort of running from the midfield and the shot eventually paid off for him. How did you see that setback?
Well, we had enough warnings, and we should have been prepared to step up and just tackle him or even take him, like coming back, but we didn't. But we'll know for next time.
And the second half, Evan Durkin latched on to Martin Ratt's blocked shot to put Westport 2-1 ahead with a fine strike, but the finish from Sam Horkin with his thunderbolt at the end, an absolute smackaroonie to seal the points, and I'm sure he'll be a happy boy tonight. He'll certainly sleep well after that.
I'd say he'd be delighted with that. To be honest, I didn't expect it, but Sam is both foot, to be fair, so obviously he can do it.
And after today's win, maximum points, I'm sure that'll give you guys a lot of confidence going forward in the league.
Yeah, we'll be better not get carried away, because we've only played 2 games so far. There's a few more to play.
And between first team and the B team, there's plenty of adult experience on the side, so I say that probably showed at times too.
Yeah, it does. It just shows play the ball, when to slow the game down, quicken it up and everything.
So you'll be looking forward to your next under-18 game next Monday night, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers.
So 2 games, 2 wins in the league. A huge game tonight, the Mayo Derby against Castlebar Celtic. Got off to a slow start, even though we got 1-0 up through Dan's penalty. Then they equalised to Joe Forey with a run through the middle and a shot from distance, even though he did have a couple of warning shots before that earlier on in the game. But the second half, an improved performance, and 2 strikes from Evan and Sam sealed the points.
Yeah, look, we're delighted with the victory against Celtic this evening. Over the years with these 2 teams, we've had some humdingers, some really tight matches. Last season, the last game of the season, we had a playoff with them and they beat us 2-1 to win the league. So our lads, there was no shortage of motivation when they took the pitch tonight. I want to credit all 15 of them tonight took the pitch. The subs as much as the main players. As you could see, the impact one in subs, Sam Horkin scored a really lovely goal, which he did against Celtic last year, which was a coincidence, but huge credit to the lads. Huge credit to the Celtic team. They've some lovely talented players. Particularly, I think everybody saw that Joe Forey in midfield was the standout player in the first half, and we had a challenge to deal with him for the second half. But I think we did. We changed a few tactics, and I think we regrouped. I'm really happy with a very courageous performance tonight.
And not only the performance was courageous, as you said, it was backed by a great crowd. And there were people over the far side from me actually getting behind the players, and if they were showing a different sort of skill moves, it really got the crowd going.
Yeah, and it was a good spirited game. 2 very talented teams going at it, but the crowd were brilliant. Huge home support, and we did call out to our supporters to come down and support us, and they did. They were loud, respectful of the Celtic players, but to have home advantage was great. And it's a great club for the club of all age groups to come down and support the under-18 team, and we really appreciate it.
And after those 2 wins, you'll be looking forward to kick on. I'm sure it'll give the lads a bit more confidence going into the league, and with a number of the players getting football at adult level, I'm sure it'll bring that sort of maturity into the league as you look to do well.
Yeah, it's had a big impact, the under-18s being part of the adult football. And you're right, there'll be about 6 or 7 of our players, whether they're playing on the Super League squad or the Premier team, and you can see the difference, I think, when they come back to under-18. I think they're very lucky as well. We're very lucky to have coaches of the calibre of David Hoban and Pádraig Burns, 2 guys who have seen it all at national and indeed international duty. So there's good crack in the camp. Everybody's enjoying it and looking forward to a good season ahead.
I know the theme of this year in terms of coaching and development is that Westport United is united, and it certainly was united here this evening, because you had members of the first team and the B team down watching the game. You had the under 21 management for both teams in attendance. You had members of the first team management tuning in to the stream to keep an eye on what was going on, and it's great to see that togetherness happening.
Yeah, it's like I talk very frequently to the under 21 management, the senior management about players, so it's a very close-knit group at the moment. We're meeting tomorrow even, just with the focus being not to burn out any players who are playing on all three teams, and just to box clever a bit. But I think the atmosphere is great in the club at the moment with adult football. It's never been better, and you know, it's a very healthy. There's a lot of lads wanting to play for Westport United, which is great. Like when you think at under 18 level, I think we have 52 players overall on the teams, and that's great. The club must be doing something right, and that's a credit to the chairman and all the committee to just create that really positive environment. So it's all good.
And when you look at the players yet to turn 16, the likes of Simeon Popov and Killian Conway, Peter McGowan, and when you look into next year, Martin Ratz, who actually made a positive impact coming on as sub. There'll be players that under 21s and even the junior size will be looked at for next year.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. All of those young lads did very well today, but it's interesting, Martin Ratz in particular. Martin is Ukrainian, and we had the assessment for all of the under-18s, and we had independent assessors like Joe Lawless, Danny Scattledown, guys who've won medals all over the place, and they both picked out Martin as a huge raw talent. So we took a chance on Martin because we didn't know him, but we brought him in the squad, and I have to say the lads have been great to him. He has limited English, but he's really enjoying it, and you know, I think he is a raw talent, and I think it's great that he has the opportunity to play good football and to learn from the likes of David and Pádraig as well. It's good.
It is indeed, and I've seen Martin Ratz in a couple of under 17B games this season, and I've seen a couple of the goals he scored. One goal that was really stuck in my head was against Celtic A team when they lost 2-1 after extra time to them.
Yeah.
It was reminiscent of Paul Gascoigne's goal against Scotland in Euro 96 when he flicked the ball over the defender's head, made the run behind and volleyed in, head back to the net.
Absolutely, well, he knows where the goal is, and Martin, he goes for goal an awful lot. People might say that's selfish, but we look at it that it's a simple game, football, and you need someone to go for goal, and he does that all the time. But he's blended in really well with all the lads, so we're delighted to give him the opportunity, but also delighted that he's a serious impact sub for our squad, you know.
And of course, there's a lot more football to look forward to over the next trial, and we certainly wish you the very best of luck for the season.
Thanks Kenny, and it's interesting this year, the Pat Quigley Cup, that's going to be like a Champions League style, so there's going to be loads of football for the lads. I just want to say hard luck to Celtic. They played some very nice football, some real quality players, which we know they have, and wish them all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.